Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today I have got something special for you. I just dropped an eye-catching 3D reel on my new Instagram page. And in this tutorial, I will show you how to make one yourself using After Effects. The best part is super easy. You can download this free project file, link in the description. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. First things first, let's create a new composition. Click on New Composition and set the width to 1080 and height to 9020. Set the duration to 10 seconds and hit OK. Now let's bring in some images and videos. Head over to the project panel, right click, select import. Step 1. Let's start by adding an image. Drag and drop your image into the timeline. Press yes on your keyboard to adjust the scale. Press P to adjust the position and move it down slightly. Step 2. Let's add a rotating world green screen video. Drop the video right below the image. Adjust the position and scale to make it fit nicely. Now, let's remove the green screen. Go to Effects and Presets, Key, under Effect Controls, Screen Color, select the color picker and remove the green. Step 3. Let's turn everything into cool black and white effect. Head over to Effects and Presets, Tint, and apply it to both the image and the globe. Step 4. Time to add some money raining down. Drag the money falling overlay video onto the timeline. Adjust scale and position. Press F4 or click on toggle switch / modes and change its blending mode to screen. Now let's make that money glow. I am using the third-party plugin called Deep Glow. Link in the description. If you don't have it, no worries, you can use After Effects built-in glow effect. Apply Deep Glow to the money overlay. If it's too intense, just lower the exposure value. Step 5. Adding motion blur and 3D effect. Enable motion blur and add 3D layer for all elements. Step 6. Now let's add some text to make it pop. Grab the type tool and type out your text. Align it to the center using these two icons in Null Layers. I am using a round hand font, regular, for the first text. Link in the description. Let's add another text layer. This time I am using Poppins font, semi-bold. To duplicate a text layer, press Ctrl+D or Command+D on Mac. Adjust the text and position. Make sure to enable motion blur and 3D for all text layers. Now let's animate the text. Open position for the top and bottom text layers. Set a keyframe at the beginning of the timeline. Move a few frames forward and place the bottom text layer to the left. Move the top text layer to the right. Let's add a smooth fade-in effect. Open opacity for the bottom text layer and set it to 0. Go a few frames forward and set it to 100. Do the same for the top text layer. Now let's make it smooth. Select all keyframes, right click, keyframe as in Easy Ease. Open Graph Editor and adjust the speed graph like this for smoother motion. Now let's add some glow to our text. Go to Effects and Presets, Deglow. For the top and bottom text layers, set exposure to 0.50. For the middle test layer, set exposure to 0.30. Alright, now let's take this to the next level by adding some dynamic camera movements. First, let's create a camera, right click, new camera. Choose one node camera, no need to change anything, hit OK. Now we need a null layer to control the camera smoothly. Right click, new null layer. Make it 3D and enable motion blur. Use the pick whip tool to pattern the camera to the null layer. Let's animate the camera movement. Open position for the null layer. Set a keyframe, move a few frames forward and place the position all the way to the left. Now let's add another image below the camera layer. Make it 3D and enable motion blur. Adjust position and scale to fit the scene. Smooth out the movement with the easy ease of the keyframes. Next, let's add a circle shape. Select the shape and use the anchor point tool to center it. Make it 3D and enable motion blur. Move it to the right and animate the scale. Apply easy ease and tweak the curve in the graph editor for smoother animation. Now let's animate the money falling overlay. Set a keyframe for opacity at 100%. Move a few frames forward and drop it to 0% for a fade out effect. To make it look even better, let's make it move left to right with a zoom out effect. Create a new null layer. Make it 3D and enable motion blur. Set a keyframe for position. Move forward and adjust the C value to around -300 for the smooth zoom out. Place the final keyframe and apply easy ease. Adjust the scale of the money overlay to fit the scene. Now, I am going to add the Forbes PNG image. Adjust the position. Using the type tool to add text. Make the text 3D and enable motion blur. Go to Visual Presets, Animation Presets, Animate In, Fade Upwards. Apply to the text layer. Press U on the keyboard to reveal all keyframes and adjust them for perfect timing. Now let's add a money image. Make it 3D and enable motion blur. Adjust position and scale. Set a keyframe for opacity at 0%. Move forward and set to 100%. We will do the same for the another image, fading it in using opacity keyframes. Now let's make this look even more professional with a live number counter. Using the type tool to add the number 0, make it 3D and enable motion blur. Go to Effects or Presets, slider control and apply it to the test layer. Under the test layer, source test, add an expression. I will put the expression in the description box, check it out. Pick the source test to the slider. Set a keyframe for the slider. Move a few frames over and change the value to 2781. To make sure the value displays correctly, after the bracket, add a dot, value dot to fixed. Open bracket 0, close bracket, semicolon, where F is a capital letter. Now let's add a test below the number. Make it 3D and enable motion blur. Go to Effects and Presets, Animation Presets, Test, Animate in, Opacity Flicker. Apply it to both test layers. Delete unnecessary keyframes for a cleaner animation. Apply easy ease to the keyframes for the number animation. To make this animation even more dynamic, let's add some zoom effects. Set a keyframe for position of null 3, move forward and increase the Z value to create a zoom in effect. Let's add one more null layer to control the final movement. Place it on top, make it 3D and enable motion blur. We want this to zoom in and move downward. Set a keyframe for position, move forward, adjust the position downward. And that's it, you have now created a smooth, cinematic and engaging animation in After Effects. Now, let's add a cool animated line to enhance the scene. Select the pen tool and make sure fill is set to none and stroke is a solid color. Convert the shape layer to 3D and enable motion blur. Now, let's animate it. Under the shape layer, go to Add Trim Paths. Set a keyframe for start and end at 0%. Move a few frames forward and set the end to 100%. Set a keyframe for start and then move a few frames forward and change to 100%. Now let's bring in the world green screen video. Convert it to 3D and enable motion blur. It's sitting way on top, so let's adjust its position and place it properly. Let's remove the green screen, go to Effects and Presets, Key Light and apply it to the world video. Use the color picker to select and remove the green. Now let's apply a black and white effect. Go to Effects and Presets, Tint and apply to the world video. Next, let's add an image of people. Convert it to 3D and enable motion blur. Position it in place. Apply tint and change both colors to white for a minimal look. Let's create a smooth sliding effect. Apply motion tile and check mirror edges. Set output width to 500. Set a keyframe for position, move a few frames forward and shift the position to the left. Easy spot keyframes for smooth animation. Now let's tweak the look. Reduce the opacity of the world video slightly. Also, I am going to extend the line by selecting this line layer and grab the pin tool. Draw a line which connects to this image right here. Let me make some slight adjustment with this circle shape layer. Let me also select the character layer and use the rectangle mask tool to create a mask like this. Check inverted. Under mask 1, increase the mask feather for a smooth transition. Perfect. Now let's add some text. Use the type tool to add text. And position it accordingly. Convert it to 3D and enable motion blur. Apply opacity flicker in animation preset. If you want, you can also add deep glow. Check record for test and adjust exposure. Now let's create a smooth zoom out effect. Set a keyframe for the position of null 4 layer, move a few frames forward and decrease the position value. Now let's add another image. Convert it to 3D and enable motion blur. Adjust scale and position. Apply tint. Using the rectangle mask tool to create a mask. Check inverted. Increase mask feather for a smooth blend. Let's enhance the lighting. Go to Visual Presets, Levels. Adjust to increase the darkness and contrast. Using the Type tool to add a text. I'm using the Poppins font. Convert it to 3D and enable motion blur. Add another text layer. I am using the font round hand. Convert it to 3D and enable motion blur. Apply deep glow to both text layers for a polished effect. Now let's bring in a money video overlay. Convert it to 3D and enable motion blur. Position it correctly. Using the rectangle shape tool to create a mask. Check inverter. Increase mask feather for a smooth fade. Yeah, and that's it, ladies and boys and girls. I hope you find this video useful. All the project files are linked in the description. Do check them out. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Check out these two videos right here, and I will see you on my next video.